Hey everyone, welcome back. Sagittarius, this is your February 2023 forecast video. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Sagittarians are welcome. You're actually welcome regardless. You're welcome if you're a cross-watcher too. I don't normally... I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's very lackluster. Hey, so welcome, regardless of who you are. But yes, this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Sagittarians. We're going to kick it off with me bumping the camera, and then we'll kick it off with a Rumi quote, and then we'll go into the tarot, all right, and see what's going on here. So, when I'm in touch with my wisdom, I have worthy things to say. When I'm in touch with my wisdom, I have worthy things to say. I like that. I like that. There's definitely a confidence in one's competence that is quite appropriate at times. I don't know, friends, if you're feeling like maybe you're... I don't know. That could mean a lot of things. Let's dive into the tarot and just see what it has to say. Because I really don't... I don't know. I mean, it almost feels like something that I could take as advice right now, like literally right now, because I'm... as I'm doing your video here, I'm starting to feel under the weather. My brain's a little bit loopy, and I kind of am lacking some confidence a little bit here in my ability to read. But the thing is, Spirit's here, and Spirit doesn't have a brain that's burning on fire. So this is good. Kicking off the reading with the Ten of Pentacles. Love to see that. Although, I'm going to keep that to myself. Ten of Pentacles. We don't know anything yet. Ten of Wands. Uh-huh. What else? What else? I had a feeling. What else? One more card, please. We'll take this top one. And the Fool. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Wow. Let's look at the underlying. The underlying is the Knight of Cups. The underlying is the Knight of Cups, and this is an interesting Knight of Cups. He's sort of looking back, and he's about to go through that arbor, and he's looking back, and he's like, "Are you coming with me? Join me. Join me on my journey. Get on my horse. Let's sail away to a faraway land." Something like that. But that's interesting that he's sort of moving away, but looking back. That is a little bit different. That's odd. All right, we have Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, and the Fool. There's something about releasing a burden here that was so specific. It's like you had wanted your legacy to be such a way, like you had a happily ever after in your mind of some kind that was like, this is what I want. This is the specific thing. And I feel like it's something that is... Spirit might be asking you to release. You know, if it's become burdensome, if your ideal manifestation has become a burden to you, if it's detracting from the gift of the present moment, so to speak, if you're so caught up in your manifestation that you're not able to be present, I feel like there's something about that needs to be released so that you can get back in touch with the beauty of taking things day by day with optimism and a light heart. If your heart is heavy, something about this needs to be released. It could, for some of you, it definitely could involve love in some way. The way I see this Knight of Cups, he's sort of... normally that's an offer of love, a mature offer of love kind of being presented, right? But the way he's going the opposite direction, that's got me a little bit puzzled. Let's go ahead and dive into some clarification here and see if we can get a little more clarity, because I don't quite understand that. Basically, I feel like you could potentially be missing an opportunity for something if you're insisting on something very specific. So in other words, how do I put this? Manifestations don't always come in the packages we anticipate or expect them to, right? Sometimes gifts from the universe don't come in the package we anticipated. That's all I can really say about that. I think I got to leave it there. But let's get some clarification on this Ten of Pentacles. for you, Sagittarius. And I had to do it out of order too, by the way. I just, normally I just tend to do things in order because of my, I guess, my Taurian disposition, but I skipped over Leo to do you first, and I don't know why that is. I just felt like I should. So, Sagittarius, let's find out. Clarify the Ten of Pentacles for you. I think I just needed to get this reading done before my skull turns to mush. I'm feeling it coming on like I'm just going to sleep all day or something. I don't know. Which is a drag. But whatever. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and get some clarification here. I'll stop talking about myself. Forgive me. Thanks for being patient, Sagittarius. All right, we have the World here. It's the end of a major cycle. Over the Ten of Pentacles, the World. Okay. We have the Ace of Pentacles, a brand new start. Okay. This is not a bad thing by any stretch. All right, one more card, please. I'll do 2 more shuffles here if nothing pops out. All right. And we have the Seven of Swords. All right. Some of you, let's see, underlying the deck is the Fool. Here's the Fool again. This Fool, you can see, is a little bit of a... It's got a little bit of a darker hue to it, does it not? This is maybe how you're going to be feeling initially. You may have to start over with something, but to see the World and the Fool, this is a big major cycle. This is a huge release for you, so this is not a bad thing. But I feel like some of you in this position of releasing something and starting over, you're not exactly feeling super jazzed about it right out of the gate. But I think some of you may have felt done wrong by a person here. Somebody may have been dishonest with you. It's not always the case. I don't like, as you know, if you've been here more than once, I don't like to read cards and make it about other people because these cards are for you. More than anything else, they're for you. They're not about other people. But something doesn't feel right about this because of this. This energy can be very representative of dishonesty, and to see the way the cards have progressed from Ten of Pentacles into the Ten of Wands, I think there could be something like that going on for you. But the positive news here is this new opportunity is just right on the horizon. It really is, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing. So I don't know what that is. Take it as it resonates, Sagittarius, of course. But I do think there's some of you that are very resistant to some kind of change. There's maybe something here that you kind of, somewhere in deep down, you know this. You know this. But you're not quite willing to look it in the face. Or look it in the eye. Or you don't want to you maybe don't want to speak to the confrontation. Let me put it that way. If this is involving another person, it made me think of this quote. When I'm in touch with my wisdom, I have worthy things to say. And some of you maybe you've got a hunch, you know, your inner wisdom is telling you something. And I think some of you are not quite wanting to face that. And maybe there's a difficult conversation that needs to happen. You know, a difficult conversation between you and another person. I don't know. Take that as it resonates, of course. This is a general reading, so some of it will apply and some of it won't necessarily. So we'll check it out. Let's clarify the Ten of Wands for you, Sagittarius. Clarify the Ten of Wands for you. Queen of Wands. Okay, Ten of Wands, Queen of Wands. Releasing that burden and reconnecting with your sense of power, your sense of remembrance of what you're about, who you are and what you're about is going to bring about a lot of confidence. So this is good. Queen of Wands is good. Very, very powerful energy to be in. I like that. All right. 2 more shuffles and then I'll pull cards. I don't want to spend all day just shuffling. All right. King of Wands. Look at that. Queen of Wands, King of Wands. Okay. And the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man. Okay. This may be speaking to the situation a little bit. Underlying is the sun. This is an interesting card. The sun card is almost looks as if the sun almost looks to have a human figure behind it, which I was going to say, the Queen of Wands, she holds the sunflowers, which is representative of the sun. But we have the Queen of Wands here. We've got the King of Wands. So there is something of a really ideal connection maybe with another person. This could also be representing you and your kind of wholeness. In the suit of passions, you may have sort of your masculine and feminine energies in a ideal balance, which is, by the way, we all have masculine energy and feminine energy within us, regardless of our gender. So, and in various amounts, right? The amount that is the proper balance for you is what is represented here, which I think is something you figure out when this burden is released. So, I mean, it could represent an actual like couple or a power couple of some kind, but I think it's more of an awareness of like how badass you are. We have the Hanged Man here, basically gaining enlightenment from uncomfortable situations. And one thing that's interesting about the Hanged Man is sometimes it can denote the idea that this uncomfortable position was voluntary. And I would say on a cosmic level, it is voluntary. I think this Ten of Wands that you're coming up on when you make that decision to release, it's something about it that you do just have a knowing that it's for a very positive cause. It's for a good reason. It's really for strengthening you in a major way, and it would certainly appear that way. Seeing the King and Queen of Wands together puts you in a position where you're going to discover and remember maybe kind of an aha moment about this is what I'm really about. This is what I really want. I thought I wanted this, but this thing that I thought I wanted so specifically actually doesn't suit who I am as a person. Once I've come out the other side of whatever this is, it's like you'll recognize that, I think, which is amazing, because not only then are you set up to draw in your true manifestation that suits you, but you also have a better sense of who you are as a person. And ultimately, there's nothing, there's no amount of money on this planet that could convince me that's worth more than a strong sense of self. That's the biggest gift you could ever receive from the universe is actually creating the full awareness of who you are as a person. And that's a lifelong pursuit, by the way. So that's not something that just happens. I mean, to a point, yes. I think the variation in people's self-awareness can be really fascinating, because some people can get that first 80%, the main chunk of their self-awareness quickly, and then that last 20% is the lifelong process. And other people may go through a more even-keeled sort of discovery of awareness and unraveling of the layers of the matrix, you know, as they come off one layer at a time and you become more aware of who you are. But I digress. Something about this is speaking heavily to the idea that the 3D material stuff is going to become less important as you become more aware of who you are. But let's clarify this Fool card, shall we? Let's clarify the Fool for you, Sagittarius. Thank you for being here, by the way, guys. Those of you that are still watching my channel, I do really appreciate it. So I just want you to know it's I do it for you guys, and I do appreciate your presence here. So thanks so much for trusting me with your time. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the cards here. Nine of Swords. Okay, the Fool, the Nine of Swords. We've got some overthinking going on. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, yes, indeed. Blunting the ability to move forward in a big way. Then we have the Empress. Okay. Yes, the Empress is a divine creator. Underlying is Three of Wands. Basically, we've got an energy here that you're moving towards the Empress has come up many times in your reading, Sagittarius, and I think that that's for a good reason. You are definitely slowly but surely, for many of you, stepping into your authentic selves and your authentic power. And you know, the best part is with that, the more recognition of yourself that we were talking about earlier, it's like the more recognition of yourself you have, the more your creative force just naturally occurs. She not only embodies the energy of all four queens, she's also a creator, you know, beautiful. And I think this is the energy that is being overridden by the energy of the Fool. The energy of the Fool, when that burden is released, you're going to be able to move. Like he can't go anywhere. He's so worried about guarding the pentacles that he can't take any steps because he's guarding the pentacles with his feet. He can't open his heart with that pentacle over his chest, nor can he really express his true willpower either. The solar plexus and the heart are covered by that pentacle. And finally on top, closed off to receiving divine wisdom from the universe, that crown chakra is blocked by that pentacle. So there's a process there of all of that kind of being blocked, and it's starting to build, and it's starting to really feel shitty. Excuse my language, but it is. And I think you're done. I think you're just done with it. Getting ready to step into that Empress energy. Many of you, though, are waiting. You're waiting on something here. And one of the things about this card that's interesting is, yes, it's depicting somebody sort of maybe waiting for their ship to come in a sense. But you also have everything you need there. The body, the body, the mind, and the spirit are all in proper balance and ready to move forward. So I think you have to start making steps. It's time to take the journey, right? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And I think some of you are just getting ready to take that step. This is not a light reading, by the way. This is very, very positive, but this is pretty intense. Looks like a lot of it's big. I don't know what else to say. I guess I don't need to just spend too much time trying to pull words out of my brain. It's intense, guys. So you have my utmost respect, Sagittarius, if you are resonating with this, because this is pretty this is a lot. It's a lot. That 10 of Wands release at the top of the reading, I mean, that is a big deal. It's no small feat. So I just want you to know that. I have a tremendous amount of respect for you, going with the flow, trusting spirit, and being willing to gain insight and wisdom as such. Now, our potential outcome / advice / things to be aware of line. I don't know what to call the bottom line, but it's basically the cap of the reading. We've got the 8 of Cups here. The 8 of Cups. Yeah, which I believe we saw. We haven't seen. No, that was another reading. Forgive me. 8 of Cups. Okay, so that makes sense to me. The 8 of Cups really is a card of walking away from things that aren't serving, and it's a real dilemma to walk away from things that aren't serving, because sometimes it's really close. Like, you sort of have to decide if you're going to cut your losses or if you're going to keep investing in something, and it's really hitting that point where the investments aren't paying off anymore. And it's like, do I keep shoveling energy into this thing, or do I just cut my losses and walk away? Some of you may be considering that, especially with the 7 of Swords and the whole narrative here. I feel like some of you are probably going to consciously make that decision, which is a good thing. I think it's an empowering thing. I see the 8 of Cups as a very empowering card in many, many ways. Not necessarily bad or sad like some folks would interpret it. It's really, you're putting a lot of trust in spirit when you walk away from something like that, and you're also putting a lot of trust in yourself, So seeing that and the 10 of Wands is telling me that I think you're reaching a level of maturation where you're not trying to keep a house of cards, intact, so to speak. All right. One more shuffle here. All right. We've got the 8 of Wands. So another 8. 8 of Cups, 8 of Wands. This is rapid communication. This is rapid energy coming towards you. And we have the Emperor. Hey, the Empress and the Emperor. How about that? So those of you in, if this is regarding relationships in any way, I think whatever this change is going to bring about for you is potentially going to be bringing about another person rather rapidly, it would appear. I don't know. Like, you take that as it resonates, but if it's about seeing the 10 of Pentacles here at the top of the reading, it's like that is about your legacy, and so it does involve not only just finances and money and things like that, it also involves people, it involves family, you know, lots of that stuff. I feel like, and you know, the way that this 8 of Cups is sort of, she's got her hand on her face there like she's thinking, right? Almost like that thought, stroking the chin, deep in thought thing, contemplating something. Like I said, difficult communication may be an aspect of this, but this card, I feel like if you're willing to face that head on, for some of you, things could change really rapidly here. Underlying energy is the Empress. So we have the Emperor and the Empress right here, just doubling down on that Empress energy. I think, yeah, those of you that are looking for a partnership of some kind maybe have something on the horizon rather rapidly, but what needs to be removed, you know, the 10 of Wands at the top of the reading tells me some burden needs to be released and an attitude shift needs to occur, in the sense of like entering into that Fool energy, that optimism. You know, it's a beginning of a journey. It's starting fresh. He doesn't have much, you know, he's got his little suitcase with his heart on it, and it's like, but is there a lot of concern about starting over? No, it's met with optimism and excitement. So, boy, I feel like if you're willing to embrace the changes and release the things that need to be released, you're going to find yourself in a situation with a partner of some kind that will really accelerate you ultimately, I think, back towards the 10 of Pentacles. Again, our manifestations don't always come in the packages we expect them to. And so, you know, if you're looking for a counterpart, I think you may be surprised. It may not come in the specific package you expect. Maybe it's going to be a person that's not your usual type. I don't know. But really exciting stuff on the way for you, Sagittarius. I love to see this. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for being here. If this resonated, please hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, I would hope that you would consider subscribing as well. It would mean the world to me. But more importantly than all that, best of luck with this energy. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you next time, Sagittarius. Thanks.